a real heavyweight tussle here between two huge global football teams, Bayern Munich and Barcelona. Harry, are there any bigger?
If there are, I haven't seen them. Certainly two teams that domestically within their own rights have won nearly everything that there is to win. And one thing that we might not have touched on, I'm not sure if you guys have touched on this, but
yeah,
this is actually Alex Alguacil going up against his former team.
Yes, indeed.
Last season, getting to the semi-finals, was obviously bitterly disappointed not to win the entire thing with Barcelona. Now finds himself lining up against his former club. So this one maybe a bit of pride, a bit of revenge almost on the cards, perhaps for Alex Alguacil. We'll have to see how that one plays out.
Yeah, Wes, we mentioned, me and Harry, about the size of these two clubs. As a former player, what's that, not only pressure, but also what's that, you know, excitement that you're playing for, you know, one of the biggest clubs in world football?
Yeah, I mean, it would be, it's a dream. It's you're playing the game that you love, but then you're playing it for a club that you then love. You know, if you look at Barcelona, you look at the players they've got, all massively been invested into Barcelona, and same goes for the Bayern Munich boys. They've took on that kind of ethos that Bayern Munich have, and it's kind of ingrained into them now. So it's a case of pride and representing a club the size of Bayern Munich or the size of Barcelona. It goes with it, and it is an excitement. It's not a nerve, it's an excitement. You're like, wow, I'm here as representing Bayern Munich. I can say that I'm a Bayern Munich esports player. It's a feather in their bow almost. Yeah,
and obviously 3 new players for Barcelona this year, and it looks like they've made signings based on the ethos of the club as well, because if you look at Guiafera, De Palma, and Henriquinho, they're all players who play that lovely, attractive tiki-taka sort of style of football.
Yeah, you look at how they employ that tactic. We saw, you know, it was quite tight versus Juventus in Matchday 1, but you could see the early the early parts of that coming to fruition. I think today we've got two teams that will think very similarly in terms of their play style. So I think we're in for a very, very good game here.
Lots of goals, hopefully.
Here's hoping.
0-0.
Don't say that. That being said, we do speak about Barcelona being a team that does play attractive football. Last week, left it late to get the results that they did against Juventus. Guiafera in the 87th minute to rescue a draw in game 1, and then Henriquinho in the 5th minute of added time in game 2 to win 1-0 against Juventus. They go up against FC Bayern München here, and will be looking to try and repeat that same feat. Hopefully we can see some earlier goals from them this time around, I should say, Wes, as Bayern München will be disappointed with just the 1 point that they were able to grab against Manchester United last time.
Yeah, I mean, and if you look at the fashion, I mean, we saw it as the goal of the match day. If you saw the fashion in which that result came to be, they would be quite disappointed at how defensively, you know, they performed there. You know, I heard, you know, kind of them mention about how Neuer had rushed out, and you know, having an offensive goalkeeper is not always a positive thing to have.
Barcelona then starting this one out, attacking from left to right in their classic Blaugrana kit, which in Catalan actually translates to the red and blues. Here's Messi, offside by just a whisker. That was such a good chance though, and Barcelona, that's a statement of intent early on.
Yeah, you can see that they're looking for a slightly more direct route to goal this time, as opposed to taking their time and move through the gears. They're certainly looking to be a little bit more direct here.
So then, Griezmann here in midfield. Well cut out though by Jose, the captain of this all-Spanish Bayern München lineup. As we mentioned before, bitterly disappointed with how Matchday 1 went. And it's not the easiest of bounce-back matches here on Matchday 2, but as you say, Wes, there are no easy matches here in the eFootball.Pro 2020 season. So a free kick has been awarded here to Barcelona, and I'm trying to think back to Matchday 1 and how Barcelona really employed their tactics. Seemed that a lot of counter-attacks came in from them.
Yeah, you can see
Juventus.
that they're using a lot of pace they have it in spades. So it's their, you know, it's their go-to trait. You know, you want to be able to use pace. It's interesting from Bayern Munich side. They've started with Thomas Müller this match day. They didn't start with him, I believe, in the last match day. So it's interesting to see that even they're looking at, you know, tactical switches to really break this down.
Here is Vriet. Early chance there. I say early, 16 minutes gone. Xerxes, lovely turn. Vriet in the middle again. Piqué clears it. That was Guifera there on defensive duties. Here is though Antoine Griezmann for the Catalan club. Referee will play on. Not an advantage given though. Busquets. Toro Vidal finds Leo Messi. Oh, good save. Needed to be done. Argentinian almost finding the top corner.
Yeah, it was getting his smart play to at least try a shot from outside the box. It's a rarity in eFootball.Pro, seeing as the percentage shot seems to be trying to pass it around the box. So it was good to try and force a save.
Perez here finds Messi. Perez is through, looking for Griezmann. 22nd minute, and it's the first goal of the game. They left it late twice against Juventus, but it only takes 22 minutes for FC Barcelona to draw first blood.
Sensational finish there as the ball got whipped across the face, tapped in at the near post, and it's been an interesting game so far, but certainly in terms of real quality, we've had to wait till the 22nd minute. Wes, great goal.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the percentage shot. We talked about passing in between the box, and lo and behold, it's a neat little ball. It's a slight flick off from Suarez. The defender's lost it, and it's an easy tap in for Griezmann in the end.
Guifera, I think it was.
A lovely turn there, wasn't it?
Controlling, as you say, a lovely turn, but Guifera, the goal scorer for Barcelona. His only second goal of the eFootball.Pro season so far. We are only on match day 2, and no doubt that will change, but Bayern München now find themselves 1-0 down. Nightmare start after trying to bounce back from just a 1-point gain from match day 1. Pavard. We'll see what Bayern München can do now with a bit of possession. They did threaten early on. Here is Vriet on the right-hand side, but will be cleared away by Henriquinho. Good response though from Bayern, yet to really fashion themselves a clear-cut chance, but we'll no doubt be seeing more of them as we advance. Throw-in finds Goretzka. Xerxes will chase, but Barcelona will happily let that one roll through for a goal kick and roll the dice once again in midfield. Boateng. Xerxes again left alone on the right-hand side. Here is Vriet. Tackled in the box, fairly, as adjudged by the referee. Griezmann now maybe a counter for Barcelona. Perez looking for the 1-2 with Suarez, can't find it. Cut out in the end by Mestre. Good midfield possession so far from Bayern Munich. They're not forcing things, they're not rushing things where they don't need to. Goretzka's going to try and get onto that one, but clatters into a Barcelona defender. Spread clear though by the Catalan club.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking, they've bounced back fairly well, but you know, you're looking at the players that Bayern aren't using. You know, they're not using Lewandowski, they're not using Gnabry, they're not using Koeman, or at least not at this stage. And you can see there that Bayern are really, they're struggling to impose their will on this game.
Yes, they are. Only 35 minutes gone though. Yes, they are down 1-0, but still a lot of time to correct the wrongs. Martinez all the way back to the keeper, Neuer. See what the Spanish outfit of Bayern München can do. It's funny saying that, considering they are playing a Spanish club of FC Barcelona from Catalonia, but Bayern München, the German squad, have fielded 3 Spanish PES players here in the eFootball.Pro season. We'll see what they can do here to see if they can maybe fashion a counter. But the defence for Barcelona so far has been pretty solid.
Wes, in terms of Alex playing against his former club, do you think it's going to change the way he plays at all? Is he going to be trying a little bit too hard, or?
No, I don't. I think knowing Alex in obviously away from the console, he's quite a relaxed individual. He doesn't really kind of get too emotional when he plays when he plays PES. So I think we'll see a bit of a cooler head from as Goretzka makes his way in.
Oh, great goal.
That might be the goal of the match day, and you can see what it means to Bayern München. The equaliser against Barcelona. Tremendous one-touch passing. We'll see it again on the replay, Adam, but wow, that was a quick one.
It was an absolutely incredible finish from FC Bayern München, and just what you were talking about, Wes, in terms of that calm, because I thought he was going to shoot twice, and it was a chip through, then the flick on, and then the finish. It was a stunning team goal, and potentially might be goal of the day so far.
Definitely in my book, that well up there over this match day, and like we said, it's that coolness and presence of mind to, instead of go for the shot where most players would go for the shot, there's a pass that's been seen and it's easy, but to fashion that chance, it was great work from Bayern.
Wonderful.
That's the response they wanted. We mentioned they had been calm in midfield and calm and concise in possession. And it's been rewarded before the half with a goal. Could it be two as Vriet chases Lenglet? I think that will be all the action we'll see, though, of the first half, as Vriet once again will try and chase. But we enter the half on as even. It's got to be said that might be a fair result based on how well Bayern have been playing in the middle of the pitch. But Barcelona, they drew first blood early on, but struggled really to get to the game after that.
Great time to score as well. 43 minutes, right on the stroke of half-time, and they cut sways through that Barcelona back line. And a great response from the German outfit. Wes, is it as you were at the start of the second half? Do you think they've got certain things they're going to go out and do, or do you carry on as they were?
I think Bayern now will take this impetus and they'll go forward with this. I think I know I
Are
said
they
at
there
the
for the
start of the
taking,
game,
Barcelona?
I think so. I think they look a little. If you're looking at the body language, maybe a little bit rattled. I mean, to concede a goal,
pumped there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you see animation from some people. It's like we said in the start, you know, the first match day. You don't want to see happy people when they're playing PES because they're more relaxed. And you know, I think looking at Bayern, they're looking more relaxed. They look like they're going to work their way into the game and impose their will, like I'd mentioned they weren't doing at the start of this half.
Looked like a wounded animal, didn't they, as they responded there?
So then, second half underway. Xerxes looking for Vriet in the middle. Early chance, though. Cut out in the end by FC Barcelona. Messi now in midfield. Maybe a chance to craft an attack. Perez returns it to Messi. Will he just manage to find his way through? He will not in the end. Here is Thomas Müller. Puissant ahead. Busquets, though, cut out. That's another key interception from Henriquinho. He's been playing well so far. Second interception in a row. Overall, when you look at the Barcelona squad, man, in terms of defence points, only one player within the top 20. I mean, Henriquinho is that man. 1,477, ranked 17th best in the eFootball.Pro in terms of defence. He'll be hoping that he will be climbing that chart at the end of today. There's some defending to do here as Xerxes is in for Goretzka. Bayern Munich take the lead. They were 1-0 down, have fashioned two amazing chances and have converted them into two goals. 2-1 to Bayern Munich.
That's a good new team there, Harry. And Stuart, just to reaffirm your status as expert, they've done exactly what you said they would do. They've come out in the second half, they've knuckled down, they've kept possession, and they've fashioned another wonderful team goal. Slight slip inside the 6-yard box, but in off the post, and it's well and truly game advantage by Munich.
Yeah, I mean, if you looked at how that goal started, it was pressure with Thomas Müller from Alex. It was then finished off by Alex in the box, and it's great play from Matchday and from Jose. As a collective, they're working far better.
And is there a better word in esports than vamos right now? Because they are
definitely not.
Vamos!
I have picked my teeth up off the floor and put my tongue back in my mouth.
Don't, I liked it. Keep doing it.
As Bayern München have taken the lead here in game one. Barcelona now with everything to do here in this second half. And really, the way that Bayern have been able to settle into the game has been really, really impressive. I would have thought coming into this one, based on the way that Barca were able to play in matchday one, that they might be the favourites. But so far, it's been all Bayern. Vriet trying to find Müller.
They've got to be careful here, Barcelona, otherwise this game could very quickly go away from them. How do they, it's a real kick in the teeth, how do they change here, Wes, and get back in it, get a foothold in the game again?
Well, I think for me, I think they need to get the ball back for starters, because since the goal, Bayern Munich seem to have just completely had possession of the ball. Like we've mentioned before, it might take an error from Bayern to let them back in, but they don't look like they're going to be giving us or giving Barcelona any real chances as PK breaks away with it.
They're using the flanks so well, aren't they?
Griezmann. Suarez making a run. Plays it smartly back to Vidal. Griezmann looking for it again, but the defence of Bayern Munich.
That so nearly fell for him then.
A little bit shaky, but it gets the job done. Xerxes here. On the right-hand side, tackled by Lenglet. Oh, that's a... tremendous.
I was going to, well, there you go.
Tremendous tackle there. It was in the end, but the referee's assistant flags for offside. You could hear the audible disgust of the Bayern Munich players when they thought that was a foul.
For a foul.
It was just offside.
Indeed it was. And Wes, the changes are coming in thick and fast now as we go into the final third. You seeing anything that stands out?
Well, Dembele was brought on to great effect in match day 1 by Barca. He's been utilised again. If you're looking at Bayern, they're looking at slightly changing their formation. They've put Muller more central, gives them a little bit more physicality in the box. If you look there as well, they've brought on Kingsley Coman. Again, fresh legs, speed and pace. He'll run all day for you, and you know, Bayern certainly seem to be in the box seat at the moment.
Absolutely. You see a close-up there of Lutti, also part of the Bayern München outfit. And one thing I have noticed about these three players for Bayern Munich is how vocal they've been. You know, they're talking through every decision, whereas you look at Barcelona there, they're very the complete opposite. They're very quiet, they're very, you know, almost passive, whereas do you think that's helped them in this game, because they've really turned this game around, Bayern Munich?
Well, having the ability to bounce ideas off of teammates, it's one of the best things you can have. And I think if you're Barca, if you're going to making decisions off your own back, you know, you're then responsible for it if it goes wrong.
And it's one of the advantages of co-op, isn't it? You can, like you said, you can throw ideas off each other, and because as one, you know, three hands are better than one, so you say.
Yeah, and if you've got, like you say, if you've got the likes of Lutti, who well-renowned Austrian champion of PES, backing you up as a coaching decision, it's better to have a fresh set of eyes who aren't involved in the game.
Changes made. Second half resumes. Barcelona chasing the game. Only the one goal down, that's a plus for them, but Serge Gnabry coming on for Bayern Munich will mean that they have to be very wary of the counter. Here is Suarez. Sergi Roberto. Dembele. Good save there. Just pushes it behind. I think he was just on. Will be a corner now to Barcelona, thanks to that lovely work move.
Yeah, very smart stop down to his near post. And Barcelona will be more than happy with a point here if they can get it. But just before half-time, they would have been going for all three, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, you can see the complete turn in fortunes here as Barca set up for this corner. You would imagine that Busquets and PK are their targets, but we'll see. They might throw a curveball in here.
Barcelona corner. Can they conjure up? Short to Arta for PK. Arta will retain possession. Dembele offside. Ferreira was the man controlling him, but the Frenchman just a little bit too eager to get onto the ball there, and that will, unfortunately for Barcelona, turn over the possession to the German outfit.
Yeah, it's a wasted chance, that, and I'm not sure how many more they're going to get, because since that second goal, Bayern Munich have really bossed proceedings, and there's only 20 to go as Coleman has the ball down the left-hand side. Good challenge, but throw on the far touchline.
Yeah, one thing you don't want to see here from Bayern Munich is really crumble under the pressure and fold before the game's even over. So important they make these possessions count. Muller on the ball, smartly playing it back into midfield. That's something I've been seeing so regularly from Bayern München. Really put the pressure on the Barcelona box by retaining possession and really compacting the Barcelona defence and making them play with the backs to the wall. Coman thrown in, but It's a bit of a sloppy turnover. Dembele now with a chance to counter. Messi. Back to Arthur. Here is the Argentinian again. Dembele has Arthur on this right-hand side. Suarez to look for. Oh, that smartly grabs. So close though.
I'm still so surprised looking at the players down on the bottom right of the screen at how silent they are. There's no talk at all about the attacks, etc., whereas the opposite with Bayern Munich, very vocal, and so far it seems to be that is the way that's working. They seem to be in tune, Bayern Munich, whereas Barcelona are sort of clutching at stuff at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, it's quite stoic. There's not too much discussion. It's very limited. Whereas you look at the Bayern side, they seem to be in sync. I mean, I caught a part of them practicing earlier on. They were actually recording game clips and looking kind of almost a micro level as to where they should have put passes, where they should be, where they should be pressing. You can see that. You can see that there is a vast improvement this match day compared to how they played last match day.
Yeah, we finally got a few words there from the Barcelona lads as they look to try and change the course of the game. Obviously, they do have a second game to play, so all is not lost, but certainly 1 point at this stage would be a great result for them if they could get it.
Yeah, and I've just spotted there Bayern Munich switching to a 4-2-3-1. They're looking to consolidate this lead now and really kind of hold it down in midfield. They've moved away from the 4-3-3.
Dembele finds Messi. Smartly blocked. That was a very good job there from the Bayern München players. Getting in front of that shot. Now maybe a chance to counter. Here is Koeman. No one in the box at the moment, though, for Bayern. Good dribbling there from Matchday. Here is Vrit. Oh, runs into trouble, though. Should retain possession, and they do. And this is the trouble when you play 5 in midfield, as Bayern München are doing with that 4-2-3-1. You don't want to turn over possession too early, because that will leave you wanting at the back. Speaking of, there was Messi trying to put the pressure on. Barcelona knocking on the door now. Sergi Roberto.
Oh,
that's a late one from Alex Alguacil.
Naughty again. There's a late challenge there. 4 minutes remaining. Can we get a late equaliser here for Barcelona? It would be a huge point for them if they could get it. But as things stand, they will be empty-handed after the first 90 minutes. Wes, can they do it? Well,
in a situation like this, there's every possibility that they can. It's just about the quality of delivery and the reaction times to it. It's on a knife edge at the moment.
Arthur standing over the oncoming free kick. Looking for PK, heads it on. Messi trying to chase, but that's just too far ahead of him. Time is dwindling now for the Catalan club here in the first game of this 2-game affair. To get anything out of it, Bayern Munich look set to get their first 3 points of the eFootball.Pro season. Barcelona, though, not giving this one up just yet. Pavard hoofs it away. Falls from Titi. Arthur ahead of the defender. Good tackle, though. That's Mestre once again. And that's another
frustration.
Frustration seeping in.
Yeah, it looks like that late winner that they got in match day 1 is not going to be repeated here unless it's even later in the injury time that's been added on by the 4th official.
Looking for Koeman. That's a bit of a waste there from Bayern Munich. See the updated goals leaderboard. Fee of AS Monaco is still sitting atop that table. Mestre, though, just the 1 goal behind. But can Barcelona get anything out of it? That is a tremendous challenge. Vrit, though, unfortunately, is offside, smartly leaving the ball. De Palma will try and get it up the pitch, but Bayern München score their first 3 points of the eFootball.Pro 2020 season.
Huge victory there for the German outfit. After going 1-0 down early on, the 22nd minute, Barcelona took the lead, but a goal either side of half-time has turned it on its head, and It is Bayern Munich with the first 3 points of the day for them, and all to do now for Barcelona, Wes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a situation that they're not really going to be familiar with. Obviously, the first match day they drew, and then they had a chance to win it, or to win the second game. As we can see now, there seems to be the inquest of what exactly went wrong and what they're going to change going forward. But for Bayern, it should just be more of the same. You know, I called it wrong at the start, and I was asking questions as to why certain selections weren't made, but we saw why in the end.
Do you think maybe a little bit too focused on the game itself, the Barcelona players, maybe a bit of lack of chemistry, so to speak, between the three players up there on the stage led to them maybe not communicating as much as they should have?
Yeah, I mean, as I've mentioned before, you can get stuck in a bubble when you're playing at these types of events. You can get stuck in a bubble and you can completely forget, actually, I've now got 2 or 3 players next to me that actually I need to rely on, and I need to trust to make those decisions rather than taking it upon yourself to be that person.
What's amazing to watch across the last couple of years is how good, and we talk a lot about Alex, but in terms of the ability to play in various different co-op teams, he's played in about 3 in the last 3 years, and he's been, collectively, the teams have been pretty brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, is that you know, an added merit to the guy?
I think that's an added merit to Alex, and I think also, as we alluded to Matchday 1, a lot of these players will play against each other just as practice for national tournaments, for offline tournaments.
So they'll know each other's games.
They'll know each other's
anyway.
games, and they'll be able to adapt to whatever situation. It just so happens that, you know, Alex has been able to adapt to 3 incredible co-op teams.
Yeah.
World Finals appearances 4 years running from Alex Alguacil, from 2015 to 2019. 1 assist on match day 1 from the Bayern München player, but it's got to be said, defense points, second last in the league, 29th out of 30 players. Something you might want to see more out of Alex. He had his 2 teammates next to him, of course, covering defensive duties where possible, but certainly maybe an aspect of Alex's game you might want to see improve.
Yeah, and he only finished second in the 1v1s a couple of years ago. Disappointing.
Yeah,
Come on, Alex, that is really, really poor form. I want to see better from you, my man. No, an incredible player, and I'm no doubt we'll be singing his praises right the way through this tournament. But the most important thing is, collectively, here today with Pro Evo and Jose as well, that they're looking like a pretty strong outfit.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that the way that they've kind of come together between Matchday, Jose, who again, even on their own individually, are brilliant players. You know, in a couple of PESs gone by where even I used to qualify for events, Jose won an event in Barcelona at the Nou Camp. He's a very, very good player on his own merit, and so is Matchday. So, as a compliment, as to have all 3 of them playing very well, it bodes trouble for people if Bayern Munich have learned how to play with Bayern Munich. It's real problems for the league, because they'll be a dangerous outfit to take on.
Indeed it is, and of course, Harry, the break now, if people are wondering what's going on, does this just go to show how important this next game is for Barcelona? Because I'm assuming we're waiting on some tactics for Barcelona.
Yeah, they have to figure out what was going wrong in that first game. They have to put that behind them now. We do play 2 separate matches per matchup every match day. So the first game worth 3 points, second game worth just as many. For Barcelona now, it's all about putting that first game behind them and trying to make amends and fix the mistakes of game 1. Honestly, between these 2 teams, there are so many different accolades. We spoke about Alex Alguacil's World Finals appearances. We have, on the Barcelona side, opposite him, Guifera, obviously 2017 world champion in the 1 versus 1s, 2019 world champion in the 3 versus 3s. So lots of accolades across these 2 squads. And we will no doubt see more high-quality PES here in this second game. Barcelona attacking from left to right against Bayern Munich.
Yeah, you can see that what's interesting about Bayern Munich is their setup, much like what we mentioned in regards to trying to counter teams' weakness. They've looked at this Barca side and gone, well, we need physical players. They've started Goretzka, they've started Javi Martinez, who is probably not fashionable enough. They've got Sul. There's loads of different physical players that they've brought on and made the
5 minutes gone here, and it is Barcelona who have possession with Messi.
Vidal. Unfortunately, that one will not bounce in his favour and will bounce out for a throw-in to Bayern München.
If you're wondering why Harry's voice seems to be morphing throughout the show, he has been struggling with a slight illness before the stream.
I didn't want to mention it because I was going to try and soldier through, but you might hear a couple of voice breaks from me.
You know, Dorset tones, mate. Dorset tone, love it.
I'm sure everyone at home and everyone here in the studio, I have gone through puberty, but unfortunately, illness has overcome me. But I'm soldiering through. I want to see some.
You've been hamstring strong.
2020 action, and I want to see some good goals. And if I get excited and I lose my voice, so be it. As Xerxes chasing the ball for Bayern Munich. It's not going to happen for him this time.
Yeah, you can see there, it's trying to use those physical attributes. It's getting it through to Xerxes, who again is a physical player. Thanks to stat balancing, although to people at home he might not be a household name, but for people playing eFootball.Pro and for eFootball PES, he's there as a very useful player to have. I mean, that's why the likes of Lewandowski are not on the pitch, as the Bayern team have identified him as a go-to player. As you can see there, challenge for a ball with Umtiti, which you wouldn't normally see.
And Wes, in terms of, we talked about eFootball.Pro, there's also an eFootball Open, is that right?
Yeah, so there's the eFootball Open. So for all of the pro players that you see here today, you do have an eFootball Open, which is open to everybody. So you can pick one of the 10 teams that you see here today, register as part of their club, and you can win ranking points. You can go on and qualify for different tournaments as well.
So of course, if you are watching this and want to get involved, then that is probably the best way to do it.
Pledge your allegiance inside of eFootball PES in 2020. My voice is well and truly gone now.
You know what? I think it sounds better, Harry, to be honest.
I need a strepsil.
A strepsil.
Other lozenges are available. Here is Goretzka. Trying to flick it on there, but again, cleared by Barcelona. Chasing the ball is Pavard, but hounding and pressing early from Barcelona. This is a bit better from them. They've recognised Bayern want to be playing inside that midfield capsule almost, and are pressing early, which is one them possession here. Here is Busquets for Messi. See to Suarez. Cut out though by Matchday. He's been playing very well defensively so far.
He has indeed, and again, as we said, Bayern Munich looking very, very defensively astute so far as we tick up to the halfway stage in the first half, and Barcelona haven't really troubled them, Wes.
Yeah, they seem to just be quite flat at the moment. They seem to really be quite flat, and they're not really trying to impose any type of game plan on Bayern. They seem to just be allowing Bayern Munich to just play their own way, and that's why we're seeing more chances for Bayern than we are for Barca.
Yeah, as the ball is out on this near touchline with Lionel Messi, the little man from Argentina, as Thomas Müller finds Javi Martinez. Back to Martinez again. It's another chance to play the ball forwards, headed away. It's all got a little bit scrappy after half an hour here, but again, this suits Bayern Munich, Wes.
Yeah, I mean, they have 3 points in the locker already. Suissant.
Oh, it's a real chance though, in towards Thomas Müller, headed away, and that was the moment, but the danger is still here as it's cleared behind for a corner, and it's just those little moments where we may see the goal, Wes.
Yeah, they're looking quite vulnerable at the back at the moment, Barcelona. It seems to be that pace of pass and being able to deliver the ball. They seem to be getting it in and around the box.
It's a real chance for Martinez. Fired goals off the post, back out, and we've got the first goal of the day in this game, and it's Bayern Munich who have taken the lead, and they weathered the Barcelona early storm, and that is exactly what they wanted, Wes.
Well, no sooner was that corner, or as that corner was being given, you were saying it's got scrappy, it's got into that stage of the game. It took a manual shot from the edge of the box from Javi Martinez. It took a couple of deflections. It hit the post, and it bounced kindly for Xerxes, who was there at the back post, and it was easy enough for him at the end.
And something we touched on in one of the previous games about how narrow some of the back fours have been to sort of shore up that area and stop that tick-attacker through that penalty area. But of course, if you play like that, it enables the opposition to get down the wings, doesn't it? And that's exactly what Bayern Munich are doing here.
It enables people down the wings, and it leaves you open for more deflections in the box, which we saw there. Everything has a positive and a negative.
It's a mistake, and it's almost got all... Oh, wow, that could have been really, really embarrassing there as it got played forward, deflected away. And Bayern Munich really now, as we head towards the end of the first half, have got 1 foot on 6 points as the ball gets played in towards Thomas Müller. Of course, a second goal here for Bayern Munich could mean curtains in this match as Gerard Piqué fires the ball away. What do Barcelona need to do here in the remaining 5 minutes, Wes?
Well, I think they just need to get it. I think they just need to get it to. They just need to get it to the half at 1-0. They just need to get it to the half.
So the ball is on the near touchline with Barcelona as it's played in towards Sergio Busquets. And now forward towards Messi. 3 minutes remaining at the end of the first half. Can they get the equalising goal? It's in towards Griezmann. He takes it away from the defender, pulls it across. And it's out of play for a goal kick. Great defending, Wes.
Well, it's gone for a corner. It's still very good defending nonetheless, but you would have thought that Griezmann may have took the shot there instead of taking the extra touch.
So, seconds remaining in the first half here. Corner on the near touchline. Would they be doing anything tactically here?
I think looking at it, they're looking at in terms of how many players they've got forward for corners. And with it being so late in the half, they're looking for targets. One of them being Gerard Piqué.
It is in towards Piqué, headed away. And now a chance to counter here for Bayern Munich. This could be a real sucker blow at the end of the first half if they can get it. Oh, almost flicked on by Thomas Müller, but blocked, and a lovely little back heel, but he's lost possession again into the final minute of added on time at the end of the first half. It's Lionel Messi blocked by Martinez, and it's finished here at the end of the first half, and it's plain sailing for Bayern Munich, Wes.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's since the goal and since that has gone a month, you sense there's a great urgency with Barcelona. However, Bayern Munich backline, as we said, you look at their backline, they've got Pavard, they've got Boateng, they've got Soule, they've got Hernandez. All physical, all tall, all able to defend. All have got defensive prowess that are quite high in stat balancing mode. It's allowing, the likes of Suarez, Griezmann and Messi to be absorbed a little bit. There was that one little half chance for Griezmann that you could have looked at it and said, should have pulled the trigger, but ran out for a corner. So those little margins again.
Yeah, fine margins indeed at this top level of eFootball.Pro. 45 minutes are all that are in between FC Bayern München and 6 invaluable points here, Wes.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be massive for them, given they only had a point out of match day 1. I think they'll be delighted if they can hold on to this. You can see there they are breaking chances. As you can see there, Xerxes dribbling forward. He's got Pavard on the overlap.
Lovely turn there. Good defending, though, from Mtiti, and Pavard still has possession, whips it in towards the near post. Oh, it's a real chance. It's a swing and a miss almost with the head, and the counter could be on, but it's away to safety for now. Thomas Müller turns Vidal, still has possession here. This is really nice one-touch stuff, but a sloppy pass there allows Barcelona to clear their lines, and a chance to counter again. Another solid. I mean, defensively, they've almost not put a foot wrong, Wes, over the 2 games.
Yeah, you can see the timing of their challenges. You can see that they are throwing in challenges and getting the ball just ahead of the player and stopping it from being a foul. I mean, there's no cynical fouls here. It's just very good defending.
It is indeed, as Vidal picks the ball up. One back though, and Müller wins possession for Bayern Munich out on that left-hand side. They've utilised the flanks so well today. And the switch as well has been on so many times. One back though by Perez, and now Griezmann finds Luis Suarez, challenged by Martinez. And it is, I've been watching the last 10-15 minutes of action, and Martinez has been mopping up every single loose ball in that midfield area. He's been brilliant. Yeah, I mean, his stats as a player, especially in stat balancing, they lend themselves very well to being a defensive midfielder. I know it's broken again here. Busquets with a brilliant challenge there, because that was almost a chance for 2-0, and this game is just well and truly in Bayern Munich's control. It's difficult, Wes, to see where Barcelona are going to go from here, because they've not been able to get a foothold in the second half. Well, like we mentioned in the first game, it's going to be, if it's going to come from anywhere, it will be an error. But these guys don't look like they don't look like they're presenting any opportunities for an error to even happen. No, absolutely not. 63 minutes on the clock. Bayern Munich 1, Barcelona 0. It was 3 points in the first game for the German team, so far they are looking at 6 points from 6, a total maximum performance which will put them on 7 after match day 2, and that is a huge, as we said, that would be a huge result based on the fact that they were only able to pick up that 1 point. in match day 1. And again, I know I've probably overtalked it, but I want to see more communication from the Barcelona players here. I need to see some kind of, I say I need to see, I mean, who am I to tell them how to play? But I just feel that that's been the difference. I think collectively, Bayern Munich have shown a far greater team performance due to mainly those tactics that they can talk out, and it seems like Barcelona have been just a bit quiet.
But they seem to know their team better as well. I mean, we saw Eldridge alluded to the fact that a lot of teams will play 4-3-3. Sometimes you have a team where 4-3-3 doesn't suit that team. You need to map your tactics to how that team plays, not the other way around. You need to look at what you've got and make it work. You know, we saw it from Celtic last season. You know, they didn't have the best of players, but they made their formations and tactics work. It's similarly here. Bayern have gone away to a, to a very micro level and have looked at every player and have worked out exactly what they need to do with their team.
Yep, the close season has been a great one for Bayern Munich. They've gone away. They've had a long, hard look in the mirror. They've made changes, and so far, it's proved a beautiful afternoon here in sunny Spain as the ball gets cleared up towards a halfway line. Piqué wins the flick on, almost put himself into trouble, but Neto now plays it out towards the right-hand side. Just 20 minutes away from 6 points here for Bayern Munich as Will picks it up and plays it towards Gnabry, and now Martinez, who has been my man of the match, I'd have to say, in this game, has been stupendous, to use a strange word. I just thought I'd throw in there as Luis Suarez picks the ball up again. Look at that man. He's won it again. He's proved that sentiment as Umtiti now has the chance to win it back for Barcelona. It's now or never, you feel, for the Spanish side as Busquets plays it up towards Rakitic. Ivan Rakitic now finds Lionel Messi on the half turn. Again, brilliant defending from Bayern Munich. There's just nothing that Barcelona can do to break this defensive line down. Gnabry now out towards Koeman on the left-hand side, finds Thomas Müller. The counter-attacking opportunities are coming thick and fast for the German outfit. If they can utilise them, they could be in here. It's Thomas Müller, he's onside, the flag stays down, he pulls it across. Gnabry just can't quite get on the end of the cross, and that was a real chance, Wes.
That was, yeah. I mean, it's those little moments, like we said. It's 1/2 second too early, 1/2 second too late. You know, if they'd have held on for that, defender gets back and takes Müller out, they have to play the pass. What I'm really impressed with Bayern, though, is that they've had the presence of mind to go, okay, our first formation worked, we've got our goal. Now we'll go to plan B, where we're playing defensively, we're able to lock out the game, and we're able to really... Yeah, and then you just go, right, you hit us on the counter. Whereas, you know, you could argue that Barcelona don't... Oh,
we could, of course, be talking. We could, of course, I was literally just about to say, we could, of course, be talking absolute rubbish if Barcelona were able to grab an equaliser, and that is still a huge possibility. You can never write off the likes of Parma, the likes of Henriquinho, and, of course, one of the former PES world champions, Guiafera from Brazil, has the chance to equalise here. But 5 minutes is all that stands between Bayern Munich and 6 huge eFootball.Pro points.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it looks as though that Barca are lacking a plan B. It's very much a case of if plan A works, we're fine. If plan B is employed, there isn't a plan B there. They don't seem to have, the wherewithal. They don't have a lot of attacking substitutions. You can only really bring on Ousmane Dembele. You could bring on De Jong potentially. You could bring on those players, but they've spent all 3 substitutions, so they clearly know what they're looking for.
Do you think that might be because Barcelona came away from Matchday 1 with 4 points and were a bit like, okay, we'll go again? You know, we're happy with our performance. Do you think maybe they were a little bit complacent again?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you could look at it, they'd be like, oh, well, you know what? We're 3 debutant players. We come away with 4 points, and you know we're perfectly fine going into this game. But when you look at the players who are on show for Bayern. You know, granted, you had Alex, who had experience from last season. You had 2 debutants, but they seem to know their games better than what the Barcelona guys do. And I think, you know, maybe looking at the game versus Juventus, they were lucky to come away with 4 points. When you really looked at it, you know, There was only 2 minutes added on, and it was the 5th minute of injury time. Yeah. You know, you look at those little things and go, and actually, were they lucky in that regard?
So 1 minute away from 6 points, Bayern Munich. Can they finally get it? Yes, they can. The German club have managed to claim all 6 points here. Two games won by them. Barcelona leave today with nothing, and of course that is a huge result for Bayern Munich, who now joint top the table with Manchester United on 7 points. Of course, we have massive games still to come, the likes of AS Monaco and Schalke, who already have 6 before today has even played. So it looks like certainly for them they'll be up there or thereabouts, Bayern Munich, and a really impressive double performance there, Wes.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they've unlocked that Bayern puzzle, as we mentioned in Matchday 1. They were going to go away and they were going to take a look at it, and they were going to really put together a side that knew what they were doing. And I'll be perfectly honest,